Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily, the first English news program in Poland. I'm your host, Benjamin Lee. The electoral campaign has taken off. The ruling party has presented its full electoral list, while the first places on the electoral list were presented by the Polish coalition yesterday by the Polish People's Party and Cookies 15 movement. Today, the left-wing coalition presented theirs, with the Citizens Coalition set to publish their complete list by tomorrow. According to recent polls, the Polish People's Party, who joined forces with the Cookies 15 movement, may not cross the electoral threshold, while a great return after 4 years of absence from the parliament may be in store for the Polish left-wing coalition. Robert Biedron's Spring Party and Adrian Zangberg's Together will run as a Democratic Left Alliance electoral committee.
During yesterday's election convention, Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz said that the coalition of the Polish People's Party and the Cookies 15 movement are hoping for a double-digit election result, although in recent polls they did not even exceed the required 5%. This grouping often polled below the electoral threshold. Later it would turn out that they were crossing the threshold after all. Nevertheless, this story with cookies reminds me of a joke from the Soviet era. What will come from a cross between a hedgehog and a wire? Barbed wire. I have the impression that this cross between the Polish People's Party and cookies will not be liked by fans of either party. It may end in an election disaster. We will see. The voters will decide. The Confederation, which is supported by many former Cookies 15 activists, has a chance to get into parliament. Same goes for the Democratic Left Alliance, which is running with the Spring of Robert Biedroń and the Together Party. They have trauma after the last election when they missed out by half a percentage point, so they wanted to avoid this 8% threshold, which is required for a coalition. Hence the idea to start as one committee. Unfortunately, their procedures failed. I think the activists knew it could not be done. They pushed young activists into such a situation that they no longer had time to react. At this time, the left are the main winners of these opposition scuffles. As previously announced, Civic Platform does not rule out publishing joint Senate lists with the Polish People's Party. Unofficially, former Prime Minister Waldemar Pawlak is to be one of the candidates of the entire opposition. Tomorrow, the Citizens Coalition, formed by, among others, the Civic Platform and Modern parties, will present full electoral lists to the parliament.
One of the last family picnics organized by the Law and Justice Party was held today in the city of Stalowa Wola, with the participation of the leader of the party, Jarosław Kaczyński, and the Polish Prime Minister, Mateusz Morawiecki. During the event, Law and Justice Party politicians summarized their holiday activity and started the electoral campaign before the upcoming Polish parliamentary elections.
Since mid-July, the Law and Justice Party has been organizing the so-called family picnics under the slogan "A Good Time for Poland." Today, this event was held in the city of Stalowa Wola with the participation of the leader of the party, Jarosław Kaczyński, Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki, and Law and Justice Party member of the European Parliament, Beata Szydło.
This is the last meeting of the Family Picnics event. I would like to summarize every meeting because each of them was held in every region of Poland. Every person that took part in those meetings said that he sees a good change. There is still so much to do, but it is getting better. We showed that the authority that wants a change can make a change, but also that it is possible to keep your word. It is possible for the authority to promise something and then fulfill that promise. Poles decided that they wanted to trust us and our program, and we fulfilled our promises. It's been 4 years. It is a very long time. It is the moment when people ask, how was it 4 years ago and how is it now? Was it easier to find a job 4 years ago, or is it easier to find a job now? Is the salary better now, or was it better 4 or 5 years ago? People ask these kinds of questions. How did the situation with pensions look like back then? When was life easier for the Polish families with 1, 2, 3 or even more children? 4 years ago or today? These are the questions that every Pole should ask himself. Can Poland be better? We think that Poland can be better and that this is our basic responsibility.
This was the last family picnic organized by the Law and Justice Party. In September, the ruling party is going to present its campaign promises in every region of Poland. Right now, the party is preparing its election program, which will be presented on a convention scheduled for September 7th in the Lubelskie region.
The conflict revolving around the fate of more than 100 African migrants on board the Spanish NGO vessel Open Arms is deepening. Today, the Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez announced that the vessel will be allowed to disembark the migrants in Spain. Representatives of the NGO, however, claim that there is a situation of extreme urgency on board and that the 6-day journey to Spain is too long to consider. They instead demand the Italian Minister of Interior, Matteo Salvini, to allow them to dock in Italy.
Representatives of the NGO state that the situation on board is tense, with constant fights breaking out between the migrants who have spent more than 2 weeks at sea. Today, Open Arms released video of migrants trying to swim to the Italian shore before being forced to turn back. We have been warning for days. People jumping into the water, fights, violence, panic, anxiety crisis. What else do we need? Dead people? Those who did not die at sea have to die here on board Open Arms?
We don't accept Spain as a port. We cannot risk the safety of all these people. They need to disembark now. We are in a state of humanitarian emergency. We cannot put the physical integrity of the people rescued and the crew through 6 days of sailing.
The Italian Minister of Interior, Matteo Salvini, interprets Spain's decision as a victory. Good news, those who stick it out are the ones who win. The migrants on board Open Arms received the good news a few minutes ago that the Spanish government is opening its ports for them.
Una buona notizia, dicevamo.
In these hours, we have seen just about everything from these people on the ship. It is a global shame. Fake sick people who, when they were visited, were not sick. The doctor in charge of medical services in Lampedusa said that, and he was attacked.
Apre I porti.
As Open Arms has turned out to offer to dock in Spain, the stand is expected to continue in the coming days.
That's it for today. See you next time on Poland Daily. But stay tuned for the Poland Daily Weather Report, followed by the Poland Daily Business section.